My name's Sung, and I'm the Principal and Director of Sky Academy. And we've been looking at functions and relations up until now, and now I'm going to look at combining functions together. All right, and there's a number of ways that functions can be combined. All right, and we're going to look at three of them. We can add or subtract functions together. Right? You can multiply or divide functions together. And finally, you can make one function a function of the other, etc. And we're going to look at how we can do that, right, with two different functions. The first function is we're going to call it f of x, and we're going to make that 2x plus 3. All right, that's the rule. And the second function is g of x, and we're going to make that rule 3x minus 4. Okay, so let's have a look at how we might add the functions together to make another function. And let's call that function f plus g of x. All right, and basically what that is f of x plus g of x, right? Which ends up being 2x plus 3 plus 3x minus 4, which gives us 5x minus 1. Does that make sense? So f plus g of x gives you 5x minus 1, a third function, which is 5x minus 1. Okay? We can also subtract functions. So what would happen if we got f minus g of x to create a third function? Well, what that would be f of x, and we would minus g of x, and that would give us 2x plus 3 minus 3x minus 4. Alright, now this is where things can get a little bit tricky. 2x minus 3x is negative x, but 3 minus a negative 4, alright, the two negatives would make a plus, so 3 plus 4 is plus 7. So if you subtract the two functions, what you would end up with is negative x or minus x plus 7. Okay? Alright. The other thing that we can do, not only can we add and subtract functions together to make new functions, but we can also multiply and divide functions to make new functions as well. So let's start with multiplying. F times, and we'll use a little dot to represent times, f times g of x would be f of x times g of x, and that would give us, what would it give us? 2x plus 3 outside of 3x minus 4. And what would that give us? Well, let's expand it out, and it should give us 6x squared. By the way, we're using the FOIL method to do this. FOIL standing for front 2, outside 2, inside 2, and last 2. So front 2 gives you 6x squared, outside 2 gives you negative 8x, so 2x times negative 4. Inside 2, 3 times 3, which is plus 9x, and the last 2 is 3 times negative 4, which is minus 12. Right? Combine all that together, you get 6x squared plus x minus 12 is the product of those two functions to give you a brand new function. Division, right, would be f of x over g of x, and it could just as easily be g of x over f of x as well, right? But we're going to do f of x over g of x, and that would be 2x plus 3 over 3x minus 4. Does that make sense? Cool. Alright, so that's how you can combine using the 4 operations. What gets really interesting is where you put functions within functions, right? So we're going to do that here. Alright, so we're going to put f within, we're going to put g of x within f of x, and we'll see what happens. Alright, another way of writing this is f of g of x, and that basically gives us, right? So you're putting g of x inside of f of x. So what you're doing is you're putting 2, and in that x you're putting 3x minus 4 plus 3. So see how f of x is 2x plus 3? What you're doing is you're replacing x with the 3x minus 4. So you're putting that inside the x. Got that? So you end up with 2 outside of 3x minus 4 plus 3, which gives you 6x minus 8 plus 3, which is, what's that? 6x minus 5. Right? You can just as easily do f of x inside of g of x, right? And end up with gof, which would be 3, and what you would put inside the 3 is the 2x minus 3. Yes? And that would give you 6x minus 9 minus 4, which gives you 6x minus 13. So hang on, something's wrong. I should have put plus there, plus, and that should give you plus 5. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Good. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.